Let's take a look at this problem. Let's see, save link as temp and show in folder. Excuse me. Extract all. Mac. Okay. And I got convert and surface. Let me right click on that and open with Google Chrome. Enter your weight in pounds, 1. Enter your height in inches, 2. Okay, nothing. So I'm gonna right click on it and say open with Notepad. I assume I'll have to look at convert.js too, so we'll do an open with and choose another app. Let's see, more apps, Notepad. Okay, let me do a little bit of formatting. Grab a drink. You know, hear me do that for 15 minutes. Okay. That's my header, script, function, variable, inches, centimeter, function, and I'll do some formatting here once I get done with it. And that's curious. There. Into the header section. Okay, the body, input, BR, input, on click, div. Okay. Let's go back up here. Okay, you bring in the convert.js that you got. Okay. And you got your script type here, and you get your beginning curly bracket, and then our closing curly bracket. And we got another function. Actually, probably easier if I use my mouse. Some of this. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and enter. Okay, enter. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This looks like a separate line. 3, 1, 2, 3, and then the closing on that. Okay. We've got our function here. And then my closing. And then my closing script. Okay. Let me save that. Enter your weight in pounds. Okay, so we got called pound box, uppercase B, and then we got an inches box, uppercase B, and on click, convert to square feet. Convert to square feet. There it is. Capital C, capital T, capital S, capital F. Okay, that looks good. Then that has a variable here, square feet. Then square feet is equal to formula. formula times 10.764. Okay, let me come up here. Here's where you're calculating the formula. So it looks like let me look this up for a second. This is what is this? Exercise 9.8. 9.8. Okay, let's use the formula is this, where surface area is equal to square root, okay. Height times weight, that's perfect. Divide by 3,600. And since it's defined using metric values, we need to convert it. Okay, and particularly need to convert the user's input from pounds to kilograms and from inches to centimeters before calculating the surface area. Okay, so what's this one? Convert to centimeters, convert to kilograms. Now the idea on this is that these will be over in your convert library, and they probably are. Let me go look. Let's see, right click, open with notepad. I already got it open, never mind. Okay, function inches to centimeters. Inches to centimeters. Okay, and then I'll press enter on that. I won't do much formatting on here. So it brings in inches. Okay, and then yeah, that looks good. And this one brings in centimeters. And centimeters divided by that tells you how many inches. Okay, that's perfect. Kilograms to pounds. Bring in kilograms, you got your pounds. Pounds is equal to kilograms times that, and you're returning pounds. I assume that's right. I don't know the numbers. I do know 2.54. Okay, and here I'm bringing in pounds. Doing the kilogram thing, and then returning it. Okay, and then square meters to square feet. Square is spelled wrong there. Shouldn't matter because it'll automatically declare a variable even if you don't put a var there. If that's true in a library. Okay, and then we got this. Square meters, and then return, and then that. Okay, I guess that's it. So let me save that. Now first off, we need to... These are all going to be available in our other web page here because I imported the convert.js. The first one I call convert to square feet probably actually should be this right here, the Mosteller. I'm saying that right. So let's change that. Okay, so that'll call this. Now here I got height, weight, and the formula. Now height you got equal to cm, and it actually should bring in the value from the box. So I'm gonna say, what is it? Document dot get. Was it get element by ID? Document dot. Boy, that's bad. element by ID. Yeah, okay. I did this last night. I have no memory. And I'll bring in inch box. Dot value. Now I could do a parse float to convert that. I'll go to the end, put in my closing parentheses, and that'll bring in my height. Now I need to bring in the weight. So weight is going to equal to parse float document dot get element by ID, and then I'm going to bring in what was it called, pound box dot value. There we go. Now the problem with this is height is actually in inches now, because that's what they input into the box. So let me see what it says. Most cellular formula is defined using metric values. In particular, you need to convert the user's inputs from pounds to kilograms, inches to centimeters. Okay. So height is currently in inches, and I could, if I wanted to, rename this. So height inch. I don't know what weight is in yet. Pounds, I guess. Inch. And let me put pound on that, just so you can really see what I'm doing. Well, I'm going to have another variable for height in centimeters. So height in centimeters. So after I get this, I want to do the conversion. So I'm going to say height in centimeters is equal to, and this is where I'm going to call one of your libraries you declared over here. I guess it would be inches to centimeters. Now notice it's passing in one parameter, inches. We're going to do the same thing when we call this. So over here, there it is. I'm going to pass in height in inches. So when this runs, and you were talking about local variable and global variable, I have this declared in this function, so it's local. And you might think, well, you can't access it outside of that. Well, you can when you pass as a parameter. Let me show my Windows so that bell quits. Okay. You can when you pass in as a parameter, and that's why we do that to simplify it. So here, I'm passing height inch in as a parameter. Now I'll come over here. It'll read that in and assign it to inches. So then I can use inches in my my function over here. And when it does this return, it'll return the value. And all this I'm going to highlight right here is replaced by whatever value is returned. So that should convert it to centimeters. Okay. Now I also need weight in pounds. So I need weight in pounds. So I'm going to say weight pounds is equal to, and I'm going to go over to the library. And where am I going from? I don't want weight in pound. Is weight in, what is it weight in? Particularly you need to convert from pounds to kilograms. Okay, so weight to kilograms. So then this will be kilograms. Therefore I don't want it there. Needs to go after. Okay, here. So weight in kilograms is going to equal to, and I'm going to call the function where I'm converting from pounds to kilograms. Pounds, here it is, pounds to kilograms. So I'm going to copy that, and notice I'm passing in pounds. So over here I can pass in a parameter. So I'll pass in weight in pounds. So now I should have both of those. So I can change this. Instead of height I'm going to say height in centimeters. Instead of weight, I'm going to say weight in kilograms. Now this right here, convert to square feet. Why'd you have that? Since in particular, you will need to convert the user from before cut. Okay, once you have the area in square meters, you will need to convert it to square feet before displaying the result in the page. Okay, so that's in square meters, what we just found. This is in temporary note. This is in square meters. But we need to convert it to square feet. Now it looks like you have a function right within your web page here, convert to square feet. So I'm going to pass in a parameter here. Oh, I see what you're doing. You're printing it right on in this. Oh, okay. So I'm still going to need to pass in a parameter, but I don't need to do a return. So I'm going to pass in formula into here. So I'm going to call it convert to square feet, and I'm going to pass in the formula. That's the value we just calculated. But down here, I also need to tell it the parameter I'm passing in. Okay, so then var square feet, formula is equal to that, and your surface area is equal to this. Okay, that looks good. And why do you got this up here? Convert to kilograms. Oh, you had those as a separate okay, let me redo this then. Okay, now I'm starting to understand. Nothing wrong with your design. Often does when you're looking at somebody else's program, it takes a little bit to see where they're headed with everything. This right here, that should return, the centimeter here should return our height in centimeters. So I can simply do height in centimeters is equal to, I'm calling convert to cm. Now part of the problem with this though, it'll call that, and there's no parameters. It doesn't need any parameters because you're getting it directly from the box. But then when you calculate cm using inches to centimeters, okay, that's perfect, you need to do a return cm. Now what'll happen is this down here, this will call convert to cm. It'll go through and do your code, and then it hits a return, and it'll return whatever value that's in cm. It'll assign it to height in cm. Okay, now here, assume my weight in kilograms is going to equal to convert to kilograms. But just like the previous explanation, this has to be a return kilograms. Okay, so now I can get rid of all this code I just put in here, because you already had that. I just didn't notice it. What did I just do? I meant to copy it. There we go. Just in case I need it again. There's our formula. Now I'll get rid of this. And you're calling that, passing in that parameter. And then, yeah, I think that looks good with logic-wise now, except for the whatever errors might still be within there. So refresh this, and 2 or 3 3. Click find surface area. Doesn't like something. Okay. Alert. Here 1. here 2. Okay, so let's refresh that. Put 3, 3. Here 1. Never gets to here 2. Okay, so we're good down to here. In theory. But then it never gets down to this next one. Why would that be? Because math is not capitalized. Okay. So refresh this. Put 3, 3, or whatever number. 4, 4. Good to here. Here 2. Okay, it's gotten further. Now, with these alerts, let's change them to actually print out values. So height in centimeters. And then let me do another alert. And I'll put weight in kilograms. Okay. Refresh that. And weight in pounds. I don't know. Height in inches, 1 inch. 2.54. That would be our height in centimeters. Because 1 inch is equal to 2.54 centimeters. I have no clue about that one. Here 2. Okay, let me put a 1 here. 2.54. 0.453. 0.453. What is the conversion for pounds to kilograms? 1 divided by, yeah, 0.453. Yeah, that seems reasonable. Okay, so we'll assume those values are correct. I get rid of these alerts. Question then becomes, what is formula equal to? Okay, so I'm gonna go refresh this. 1 or 2, I guess. Okay, got that value. Assuming it's a correct value. So if the formula is correct, and I don't know why it wouldn't be, because assuming these two are correct, I don't see anything wrong with this. So I'm not going to manually check that, but then it should call this convert to square feet. It's not for some reason. Capital C, capital T, capital S, capital F, passing in formula. It's got a var square feet. Square feet is equal to formula, which we brought in, times 10.764. Document.get element by ID. Output div. Output div is capital D. Okay. Dot inner HTML equals your surface areas plus square feet plus that. Let's make sure it's getting down here. Alert square feet. Okay, so refresh this. Still not printing anything though. Document.get element by ID. Output div. Output div. Okay, we're ending the head, the script, starting the body, ending the body. Not seeing anything wrong there. Output div. I'm gonna cheat. This is gonna be presented in this coming weeks, but I'm gonna go to where's it at? More tool, yeah, more tools, developer tools. And let me click this. I'm going to go to console. And that's not promising. I don't see any errors. And my body, display, margin. Div. Well, that's interesting. Says the inner HTML is equal to that, but it's not printing it. Okay, I'm gonna go look up what the syntax is for inner HTML. I don't usually use it. I usually throw it back into like a text box. Inner HTML. Okay. Document.getElementById. Output div dot inner. Oh, it's a lowercase I, not an uppercase I. Okay, let's save that. Come over here, refresh it. There it is. Okay, well that looks like all the issues that I could find. Now that gets it back up and running. You probably want to go through and double check your formula and everything, make sure the values all seem correct. But anyway, that should help.